Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. We are 1 day away. 1 day away from playoff football. The New York Football Giants versus the Minnesota Vikings Wildcard weekend. In a matchup, a rematch actually, from about 3 weeks ago where the Minnesota Vikings did win, but won very luckily. 61-yard field goal. And you know how much I hate losing games by field goals, especially long field goals. But anyway, and actually before we start, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're on this page right now listening to me, that means you're a fanatic when it comes to New York Giants football. And if you're a fanatic, because I'm a fanatic and we're fanatics together, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let me know what's going on with you guys in the comments down below. How do you feel about this game? Now let's get into it with some of my thoughts. Now, a lot of people are very confident about our chances in winning this game, me being included in that. You saw the previous video that I put out when I told you that the New York Giants are going to the Super Bowl. And not only are we going to the Super Bowl, we are going to face the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl in a 33-year-old rematch. The storyline keeps writing itself, but that's not about this. And I hate to be disrespectful or come off disrespectful as looking over the Minnesota Vikings, because that's just not true. I put out that video to have fun. I do believe it, though. I absolutely do believe it. Now, the New York Giants versus the Minnesota Vikings in a rematch from a couple of weeks ago in a game that they won. And in that game, we did not have Adoree Jackson or Xavier McKinney. And just thinking about how big it is for these guys to be back in the lineup and being able to make plays, I think that gives us an advantage, because we've seen the best of the Minnesota Vikings, or we played, against the starters from the Minnesota Vikings. So as we're getting healthier at the end of the year, and we're moving in the right direction as far as an offense and a defense, the Minnesota Vikings are dealing with some injuries across that offensive line. And I'm just thinking about it like this. We had some issues covering a tight end. We had some issues, covering Justin Jefferson. And listen, when it comes to Justin Jefferson, you just hope to contain that man, not stop him. So us not stopping Justin Jefferson was not a letdown at all, in my opinion. I do like the way that we play him, but we let him get that play at the end of the game, that screenplay that got them close enough for that attempt to get that 61-yard field goal. But I think with the addition of Adoree Jackson and Xavier McKinney, that pretty much solidifies that back end of the defense. It gives Wink more confidence to do what he wants to do, and that's blitz. And we saw that a couple of times in that game. We got caught out there with the blitz, and a lot of those passes went to Justin Jefferson. But I think this game, this time around in this game, Kayvon Thibodeaux and Azeez Ojulari, healthier, are going to be able to get that pressure, constant pressure and consistent pressure this week. And I think that's going to affect Kirk Cousins. He saw what happened last time we played. We were able to get a lot of pressure on him. He was still able to make some plays, but I think this time around we were able to do a little bit more, especially because we have our two of our starters back in the lineup, especially in that secondary. And most likely you're going to see Adoree Jackson line up against Justin Jefferson often. Another guy that hurt us a lot in that first game was TJ Hockenson. And again, I think this is where Xavier McKinney comes in. We saw in the Baltimore game where Xavier McKinney was pretty much lined up or pretty much covering that tight end for most of the game. Maybe not man-to-man, but, bracketing, being over the top as support. And I think with TJ Hockenson, what he did in that first game, he probably should have saved it for this game, because now it's not going to be a surprise of what he can do, especially how he can make plays and how he can affect the game. So I think that causes Wink, to let McKinney know that, hey, we have Justin Jefferson over here, but we need to be mindful of TJ Hockenson and his ability to make plays. And then on the other side, you have Osborne, their other wide receiver. We pretty much locked him up last game, and that's the part that gets me a little bit nervous, because we saw that the man can make plays if there's plays to be made. Luckily for us, we had good coverage. And what is our CB2 going to do? or whoever's lined up against him on that side. Are we going to be able to contain him like we did last game? Or are they going to try to scheme him up because we were able to shut him down that last game? That's all about the coaching. And now, if I'm a Minnesota coach, that's the matchup that I'm looking for, trying to free up Osborne. Obviously, you don't take looks away from Justin Jefferson, but the way that we shut down Osborne, knowing that he has the ability to make plays, I'm pretty sure they're going to put some play designs together to try to get Osborne, open. So, that's what I think about on the defensive side. Now, on the offensive side, we need to be turnover free. I think if we were turnover free in that first game, we win that game easy, probably win that game by 2 scores. We had 2 big turnovers and 1 big drop. That first turnover was a fumble by Bellinger. We were on, I think he fumbled that ball on the 18-yard line. So at least, you're getting 3 points there. The next time is going to be the interception from Patrick Peterson. Daniel Jones was trying to get the ball to Isaiah Hodgins, and Patrick Peterson was able to pick that off. Savvy veteran move. He saw it coming the whole time. And Hodgins was getting the best of him a lot in that game. But he was able to make a fantastic play. On both of those turnovers, they were not able to make or get any points off of those. So that's big. And then, of course, the big third down drop by Richie James, if converted. You're probably moving on, probably getting points again. But we end up punting after that. So a lot of things happened in that game that didn't go our way. And time after time, it's been proven that the New York Giants cannot make mistakes and plan on winning games. We don't have the type of talent to be able to survive, a lot of turnovers. So I think with this game, and not saying it was bad play calling or anything like that, we just did not execute, and then we just had some bad plays where you can't be coughing the ball up and things like that. But I'm very excited about this game. I think the game plan is going to be pretty much the same, but I do think there's going to be more running the football by the New York Giants. I think when it's playoff time, you want to win these games within the trenches. You want to impose your will, and I think that the New York Giants in the trenches are better, especially on our defensive side. But on our offensive side, guys like Bredesen being back and healthy, that's big. Evan Neal has been struggling, but he's coming along as well. And we'll see what happens because he has an injury on his ankle. Is he going to play the whole game? Is he going to start? I don't know. But I think that if we can have success running the ball, and also sprinkling a lot of that pass game that we saw in the previous game, that this game should be something that the New York Giants should win, and win handedly. Not saying that we're going to blow them out, just saying that we should be able to score points, and score points often. Long drives, keeping that explosive offense off of the field of the Minnesota Vikings, keeping their playmakers off the field. And I could see us winning this game with a quick prediction of 24-21, and moving on to the divisional round. And we'll be facing the Philadelphia Eagles, which is a game that I want so badly. But I don't want to get ahead of myself again. The Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants will happen tomorrow. Just some thoughts that I had about the game. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. And for one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.